What's going on, guys? Justin Williams here with Dirt Time Adventures, and today we're out on the backside of the property picking up trash. Unfortunately, the previous owners or tenants or squatters or hunters or whatever you want to call them decided to trash the backside of this property, and now I get to clean it up. But today I thought what would be real cool would be to bring out my trusty sidekick. Come on, Bailey. This is the first time she's been out at the property, and she is remarkably doing well with the navigation section and portion of this. She, once again, never been here before. I took her out on the very back side of the property where there's hardly any trails or anything, just picking up loose trash, and we took her probably a good half-mile back, and decided to let her lead the way back to where we started, and she has done remarkably well. Find a little spot here we can get off and take a break. She led the entire way back to the access without me even having to guide her. So that brings up a few very interesting points. Come here, Bailey. Come say hi to everybody. Come on. Come here. Yeah. So that brings up a few very interesting points that I think people should consider. How beneficial is a dog to your survival situation? And I have to say that in the, I lived in the woods from April, May, and June, and I was actually in the woods to the end of June, living in the woods. Even after I left Sigma, I was out for quite a few months, or not months, but weeks. Sorry guys on the wobbliness there. Was out in the woods for quite a few weeks, and just still trying to hone my skills and reflect on my adventure. But during that time, I don't know that I really considered the benefits of having a canine in a survival situation. But I really think if I was going to be long-term survival, and I knew that I could fend for myself food-wise and my companion, then I would definitely be pro canine for a survival circumstance. Isn't it beautiful out? Love fall. Gosh, leaves are beautiful. And here's a few benefits to having a canine in a survival situation. She's just happier in a box of rocks. Yeah. Alright, number one, she proved very clearly out and about today, while we're out picking up trash on the backside of the property, that dogs are great for navigation and tracking. I'm not going to say all the time, because for all I know, she could get a whiff of a squirrel or a coon or a possum and she could be gone, or a deer. But she did pretty amazing. We took her back, like I said, about a half a mile, and I let her lead the way back. And I let her make every decision. She made a couple wrong turns, but she quickly backtracked and got back around to where she needed to be. And she led us straight back to the access point on the backside of the property. And so navigation and search and rescue, I can imagine that people use dogs all the time for search and rescue. But for tracking, dogs are amazing for tracking. And of course you got to do some training and working with them. But what better survival buddy, companion, than man's best friend? A few other things that people don't consider with canines when it comes to a survival situation is they are actually very capable of hunting food for themselves. So you don't have to consider having to feed them everything. You just got to give them a little leeway. But they're going to provide security in your camp. They're going to provide a means of defense. So you're going to be your first line of defense for predators or other animals coming in. They're going to provide companionship, especially on them long, lonely nights or when you're feeling isolated. So those are huge elements in the survival, because a lot of survival is in the mind, and a dog's going to provide you the comfort, companionship, going to provide you some security, going to provide you a line of defense. And then when you consider the navigation and tracking abilities of a canine, hey, you know, if you want to get honest with you, they're going to produce some crazy body heat too. So you got this bad boy, this little micro heater right here, pumping out some heat. It's going to keep you warm in the winter. I don't know. I just a rant. I tried shooting a live video earlier, but connection was just not that great. So I thought, what the heck? I thought it would be a good topic to discuss. And if anything, maybe you can shoot me your thoughts on using canines for survival scenarios and survival training. So, all right, guys. Bailey, come say bye to everybody. So, this is Justin. I'm Bailey. Dirt Time Adventures, guys. Keep it practical, primitive, and prepared. Bam.